Hello Aries, Sun, Moon and Rising. These are your messages for October. And the very first card that we have coming up for you is the Three of Cups. I'm getting kind of a bit of excitement coming off your reading actually this time. Three of Cups, it's a platonic energy. It's socializing, our support network, those people that we call our friends, those people that we love and support and that love and support us. Now, for some of you, I'm getting that excitement of like, you're socializing with more people, you're getting out there more, things have been slow, things have like, you may have been kind of doing the whole kind of dark night of the soul thing. Few of the signs have been doing that, but for you, it feels like there's that energy coming back. You're now ready to interact with more people. Now, for others of you, this may indicate that there are questions here, or this period in October is going to be about the relationships that you have around you. Who supports you? Who loves you? Who do you support? Who do you love? Not surprising really, it is Libra season. That is your 7th house of relationships. So we have a sense of that coming in. We have this kind of energy of other people. Now I know there's like some readers that will automatically go to third party situations when any of the three show up. I don't do that. And if any of you are in that situation, you already know you're in that situation. So apply the energies as I say them, like as they apply to your life. If it doesn't fit, then that message may not be for you this time. But the Three of Cups, it is about groups, it's networks, it's our community, it's, our support network, like I said. So there's going to be questions around that in this situation. Like I said, apply it to your situation as it applies. Coming up at the heart of your reading, we have the Two of Pentacles. This is a card of juggling. So, for those of you that, and I don't think it's going to be very many of you. And if that is your situation, that seems to be shifting too. But if for those of you that are doing the whole third party thing, and third parties don't have to be other people. It can be you're in a relationship and there's something else coming up. Like, that person's more interested in work, or you are, or, you're socializing more, you're going out with your friends more, not spending so much time with your partner. It's a general reading, so it doesn't have to be a kind of third-party love situation for some people. For some people, it's going to be that maybe you're socializing more and you're trying to keep up your social kind of responsibilities and obligations as well as work ones, right? But there is a sense of juggling when the Two of Pentacles comes up. Now, the thing with the Two of Pentacles is we can focus so much on those Two Pentacles that we're trying to keep up in the air. And there can be a sense of, why? Why is the focus so much on this? Now, Pentacles always represent something that offers stability, security, and support. So yes, it might be that we're putting in more effort at work. It might be that, we're trying to keep the balance within a relationship by making practical choices. Pentacles are always practical, tangible things. But I'm getting the sense here that, there's this focus on keeping the balance. Now, it might be to do with a group of friends. Like maybe there's been friction here, and that doesn't really sound like a very Aries energy. So this might be difficult for you, because one of the things I love about Aries is how real you guys are. Like, if there's a problem in a situation, you'll kind of go and sort it out. You'll confront that situation head on. Two of Pentacles is not that. It's having to balance out the energies. Like you're kind of really juggling, doing a juggling act, and it takes a lot of effort to keep those pentacles in the air, like I said. But why? Why are you focusing so much on this thing? Because the guy in this card, he has his back to the sea, and the sea represents our emotions. It's the bigger picture. So this card does kind of remind you that, while you're kind of focusing in on this one thing, what are you not looking at? What emotions are there? Has someone been upsetting you? Is there something else that you need to look at, like your emotional life? Maybe it's work that's taking up all your time, and there's things in a relationship that you need to look at. I do feel like you are supported here. That Three of Cups kind of says that. And there's some very solid energies coming up here. Very solid energies. Which is why I was kind of reluctant to get into that whole third party thing. But when the Three of Cups shows up with the Two of Pentacles, it has to be brought up. Like I said, it doesn't have to be someone cheating or a situation like that. I'm not getting any of those kind of energies. It just feels like, there might be different aspects of your life that you're trying to juggle, different things that you're trying to, different friends, like, friends, family, your partner. There's different things that are being juggled here. And it can be a little overwhelming, which is why we turn our back on the emotional side. And sometimes we have to do that. If we have a task coming up, a job coming up that, really requires our focus, sometimes we turn our back on our emotions because that's the only way to get through that. But that's kind of shifting for you. We have the Prince of Pentacles, also known as the Knight of Pentacles in other tarot decks, coming up as a past energy. That's the foundation here. You guys have been working steadily away at something. Well, there's two meanings to this. One of them is that you have been steadily working at something. It's been slow and steady, and you've been contemplating every step that you take, very diligent, very slow energy, very un-Aries-like energy. You may have, felt, especially with that Two of Pentacles coming up, that, you've had to go slowly. There's things that have required your attention, like the details, you've had to stop and look at them. That can be kind of exhausting when you want to go fast, right? But you've done it. The thing with the Knight of Pentacles is, or the Prince of Pentacles here, all of the knights, all of the princes, they indicate movement, they indicate progress. But this is the slowest moving knight. Why? Because he's diligent. He makes sure everything is done, every kind of step is taken meticulously, but he is the knight that's going to finish what he starts. He's hardworking. He will put in the effort to get the job completed. So that's one scenario. For some of you, this has been your energy, and it's a general reading. So the energies can play out either for ourselves or for someone else, it's the other person's energy, someone who's very closely related to our story at this time. It's their story. So you may have been dealing with someone like this, maybe an earth sign, which would be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone that takes on those kind of qualities. Someone who may have been, maybe that's the kind of juggling act here. Someone else has been more focused on their work. Someone else has been kind of distracted, dealing with their own practical problems and issues. And you've been waiting on them. It's a slow energy. They've been moving slowly towards you. This can be in a relationship. You've been waiting for someone to get their act together in a relationship. This can be at work, maybe you're trying to move forward on a project, but someone else is doing their part, but doing it very slowly. Yes, they're doing a great job, but they're doing it at a very slow pace. And that's why this question may be arising of that Three of Cups. Like, what's the support here? What's my network? That all changes in the present. We have the Chariot coming up for you. And I always say the energy that comes up in the present, it's the main energy for this period. That's a general reading, and tarot timings are strange. Like, some of us will go with the energies and they happen quicker. This could happen in a week, in 2 weeks. For others of us, we have free will, right? Or it could be someone else's free will that's involved, and that slows the energy, and then it may take longer. It may be November that this takes place. But I always do say that energy in the present is the main energy for this period, and this is the pace picking up. Where the Knight of Pentacles does represent a slow energy, the Chariot, well, you can imagine, this is a chariot that is speeding forward. This talks about a victory through our own efforts and determination. Now, you have the Three of Cups above the Chariot. I do feel like you have some backing here. If you felt alone, like with that Knight of Pentacles energy, if you've been working slowly away at something yourself, it feels like you have the backing of other people. Maybe it's a group of friends or your family, just that support that you have to go forward. You guys are a very independent sign. You're a sign that, you're good at taking action by yourself. But this kind of feels like you have backing here. And that's important to you for some reason at this time. It's been coming up for a few signs where, there's this kind of sense of coming back to other people. I think a lot of this year has been kind of solo inner work, and now it's more outer work. And when the Chariot shows up, this is the energy picking up. It's that momentum that you feel, and you can make the most of it. Now, you are the charioteer, so you're this person on this chariot, and it talks about balancing your head and your heart. I feel like you've done the groundwork. It feels like the planning work has been done with that Prince of Pentacles energy in the past. So whether that's in a relationship or a job, whatever steps you've wanted to take, you've been implementing them. You've been looking at the small print. You've been putting together that plan. Now it's time to act. That's what the Chariot is saying. So it's a balance between the head and the heart. It's controlling those two horses, right? Setting them in the direction that you want to go and making use of that speed. Things speed up very quickly when this card shows up. What is it that you're speeding towards? Well, you have the King of Cups coming up as a future energy. Now, if this is someone else, this may be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio energy, or someone that has those kind of water elements about them. Why is it a victory for you to be the King of Cups? Why is that a victory for you? Either to have the King of Cups, like someone's backing, or for you to be the King of Cups. Let's have a look at his energy. The King of Cups, he has mastery over his emotions. Each of the kings has mastery over his suit, and cups all about our emotions. He's very nurturing, he's very caring, he's very romantic. He's that family man. And I say he, but this energy can apply to anyone really. It's a general reading. So when this guy shows up, it's very much about Someone who may not be saying how they feel, because yes, he has mastery over his emotions, but he's also able to control his emotions. He doesn't always show how he's feeling. This can be the whole, what I usually say about the King of Cups is that, still waters run deep with this guy. Like on the surface, it looks all still and calm, but there's a lot going on, underneath the surface. So let's go through this. There's a few scenarios that are coming up here. Now, if this is a romance love reading for you, for some of you, there's been other stuff going on. Like you've been either like juggling too much, like your relationship, work. You've not known where you stand. You've been looking at who supports me, who loves me. There's this kind of, maybe you've had to rely on friends at this time. Like love hasn't really been a thing that's been happening, or there's just been confusion there. Like you've been trying to keep the balance as much as you can. Things have been slow with that Knight of Pentacles energy, right? Things are picking up there now with the Chariot. Now, with the King of Cups coming up, I do feel like this is either you expressing how you feel to someone or someone expressing that to you. There are feelings here, there are emotions here. It feels like someone's needed time to kind of understand where they are, to take care of some practical things going on in their life. But they've managed to clarify that. Now, if it's not a love reading for you, the same applies. Like, it feels like if it's a work project, family relationships, or, whatever you're working on, hobbies even, or even general energies for your life, you've been looking at who supports you. It's been important to you. The people around you, suddenly it's crucial. Who's around me? Who takes up my space? Who's taking up my time? What's my community? What's my tribe? And it's been about, you've been doing this balancing act, because I feel like, think about it. He's got those 2 pentacles. He has to put one of them down. He can't keep juggling them forever. And that's why I think like you've been looking at who's around you, because you don't want that many people. Like those people that don't serve you, it feels like you're going to get rid of these people. Like, and not in a bad way. It just feels like you want to concentrate on those people that serve you and that you serve, that you support and that support you. So maybe that's what that Knight of Pentacles energy shows. And this could be a work thing. Like you've been working on a project, diligently working away at a project, trying to figure out like networking. The Three of Cups can show like drinks after work, right? Meeting clients, that kind of energy. And it just feels like with all that balancing of the 2 Pentacles, or that meticulous, methodical kind of diligent work of the Knight of Pentacles, that slow energy, it's been so slow, right? Pentacles is always slow energy. It's solid energy, it's stable energy, but it is slow energy. That all picks up, that all changes with the Chariot. For those of you that have been networking, like meeting clients, talking to other people, maybe looking, reaching out, branching out, looking at other jobs, it pays off with that 3 of Cups and Chariot combination. So then the King of Cups is going to represent your happiness with a job. It can be, some of you may be dealing with a healer as well. Like the King of Cups can represent a doctor or a healer. I don't do any kind of health readings or get into that, but there is a healing energy with this person. It can be a therapist, like someone that we go to for advice, a spiritual advisor, someone that helps us look at that balancing act that we've been doing. Like, what can we put down? It's advice that comes from somewhere that helps us to look at where we are emotionally. Now, as much as there are pentacles coming up here, which is grounded energy, and there's very strong major arcana energy of the Chariot, your whole reading is rooted in where you are right now emotionally. So whether you're dealing with someone else, whether it's your emotions, someone else's emotions, they become crucial. That's where you're kind of headed. There is clarity coming with emotions, how someone feels, how you feel. It's the King though. He's the kind of highest court card of the suit of cups. So it looks good there emotionally. Now, what's the advice for you? What's the advice coming in from the cards? How do you manifest your goals, your aims, your ambitions? Well, we have the 9 of Pentacles coming up here in the crowning energy. This is what makes me think that King of Cups energy it's your energy. For some of you, it's going to be your energy. Because the 9 of Pentacles, it's a card that talks about confidence and independence. So if it's work, you've done great. That meticulous work that you've been putting in is that Prince of Pentacles energy, paying off, starting to bring rewards now. You're getting returns on the work that you've been doing. That's what the 9 of Pentacles shows. Like you've created this beautiful garden, this great abundance. For others of you, that can be a trap. It can be like a gilded cage, because you get kind of caught up in the finances, right? I've been earning this much. These are the returns that I've been getting from this. It becomes comfortable because you think, well, I'm getting a good wage here. But it feels like with that King of Cups, there are emotions stirring within you. There's something else that brings you happiness. And it feels like You don't want to do that slow, meticulous work anymore. You don't want to be that Prince of Pentacles energy. You want to be the Chariot. You want to go charging forward. You want to look at how you're feeling. Get your happiness. So that's the advice from the Nine of Pentacles. It's like, look at your comfort zone. What is your comfort zone here? There is the opportunity to break out of it during this month. I do get that with that Chariot there. Now, for others of you, this is kind of saying, especially if it's a romantic reading for you, yes, your focus has been on your work or, getting your life practically in order, like the practical aspects of it, whether it's your house, whether it's work or money, finances, whatever it is, you've been doing the day-to-day practical stuff. The Chariot, the King of Cups, they are showing a change here. It's showing you great, but has that become like a trap for you, especially with that Two of Pentacles there? Has it become somewhere where you're kind of retreating? Is it a comfort zone now that you kind of hide away within your work and not really, not really look at what else is going on? Like, have your back to the sea like that guy does in the Two of Pentacles. Is that what you've been doing? In which case the Nine of Pentacles is telling you now, maybe it's time to peep over the wall of that garden and move ahead. Go to something new. And that King of Cups could be that something new. Well, let's have a look at your oracle cards and see what advice is coming up there. We had from the Romance Angels, and don't forget the Romance Angels and the Whispers of Love deck, the first two cards, they're about romantic kind of energies, more love energies. So apply those messages accordingly. And we have from the Romance Angels, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. That kind of feels like that Prince of Pentacles energy where you've kind of been forced. I can't ever see Aries kind of doing this on purpose, like slowing down that much. So it kind of feels like your situation, especially with that Two of Pentacles, the things that you've had to juggle, the kind of balancing act that you've had to do, that's kind of been like slowed you down. But whatever it feels like you have been waiting for, especially if it's love, it feels like it's coming in with that King of Cups. He's the lover. Out of all of the kings, he is the lover out of the kings. He has that emotional maturity. And I can't help but see you like charging forward with that Chariot towards the King of Cups energy. But there is this message coming up from the Whispers of Love deck, number 29, forgiveness. Nothing can be gained by holding on to past disappointments. For some of you, it's going to be someone who was very slow and reluctant in the past, and they're coming forward now with, some emotion, saying how they feel. And you might have to forgive them. That doesn't mean you have to accept them. You might not have to take them. You might be the King of Cups and feel, know your feelings and know I'm not interested in this person anymore. Or, I want to go for someone new or have emotions for someone new. And sometimes we have to forgive ourselves. Like, I always say forgiveness is the F word that no one wants to look at. It's that sense of we don't want to forgive because forgiveness in some way implies that, we're condoning what was done to us. And it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean that at all. When we forgive to free ourselves. Because otherwise, whatever was done to us, whether we think we've done it to ourselves, like blaming ourselves for not taking better care of ourselves, why did I let myself get into that situation? Whether it's ourselves or someone else that we, are trying to forgive, if we don't forgive them, whatever was done, it hurts us anew every day. If it's someone else that has hurt us, they might have gone off. But, that going over the pain and the hurt, it hurts us anew every day. And, I'm not saying it's an easy thing. You can't just click your fingers and say, hey, you're forgiven, off you go. It's a process. It's a gradual thing. But it does kind of feel like maybe that's what's kept you going slowly at that Prince of Pentacles energy, because you've been taking those steps one after the other, trying to figure out where you're going, what you're doing. And now there is that balance, head and heart balance with the Chariot. So you're able to forgive, you're able to move forward. I do see a newness coming in. There's this fresh energy coming in, and that's echoed by the card that comes up for you in the Wisdom of the Oracle, which is number 39, New Life. I love this card. It's an absolutely beautiful looking card. We see this kind of little fairy who's kind of hatched out of an egg, and she's like stretching and yawning, and she's been reborn. And that's the kind of feeling of this card. It can be the birth of new ideas. It's about growth, new opportunities. It's a breath of fresh air, like life renewing itself. Literally, as the card says, a new life coming in. It is that sense of spring. And I know in the Northern Hemisphere it's autumn now, but it's that kind of sense of, that freshness, the flowers blossoming, things blooming, everything coming back to life. And I feel like this is your energy. That slow Prince of Pentacles energy in the past, that's going to have been slow. There's going to have been for a fire sign like you, being stuck in mud. But with that Chariot, that's fresh energy coming in. This may be when you have like the enthusiasm to do something new. That King of Cups could represent like new emotions blossoming in you. You may not be ready to kind of express them just yet. You may be waiting. That's what your worth waiting for card is. But there is a sense of newness coming in when obviously the new life card shows up. Now, it's very interesting. From the energy oracle cards, we have number 44, woman holding a heart. Now, let's talk about this. In a lot of the readings, like most of the readings that I've done, we have had the King of Cups energy come out or the Queen of Cups energy. And the woman holding a heart, she is the equivalent of the Queen of Cups in this deck. Now, Pisces, I just did the reading for them before that. They got the Queen of Cups in the tarot and they got man holding a heart from the energy oracle cards. And it does feel like there's this kind of transformation, this change going on in how people are feeling. Now, for some of us, that's enthusiasm, like feelings can be anything, right? Happiness, joy, love that we're feeling. For others of us, it's the other end of the spectrum where there's fears coming up, doubts, self-sabotage coming in. And I talk about that at the end of the video. But what I will say is with the King of Cups coming up here and the woman holding a heart, who is the Queen of Cups, that's a couple, right? So there is this kind of emphasis on maybe allowing other people in. That's what that Three of Cups could mean. Maybe you've been so focused on the practical that now it's time to open your heart again, Aries, and allow people in again. Are you ready to give your heart to someone? Is someone offering their heart to you? The woman holding a heart asks you to reconnect like with your emotions, with your happiness, what you love, who you love. It can be about friends, or it can be about family. I mean, that heart doesn't have to be just love. It can be an offer of friendship. But it's about trusting your emotions. That King of Cups, he trusts his emotions. He has mastery over them. He knows exactly what he feels. So there is this sense with the woman holding a heart coming up as well that, it's asking you to trust your emotions, trust what makes you happy, where your happiness lies, and ride that chariot towards it. Now, each of the energy oracle cards does have an affirmation. I'm going to end with the affirmation for woman holding a heart. And it says, I'm emotionally calm and peaceful, and I attract healthy and stable people to me.